Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We are your hosts, Leah and Michelle. Today is the 11th of May. It is a Friday. We go live every Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with kind of a weekly roundup. We've been so busy in the garden and outside, and our adopted grandma Marilyn has been in the hospital, so we haven't had a chance to go live with you all week, except Leah took you on a farm tour yesterday, last evening. Yeah. That was really fun. Piggy updates and the sawmill with Kansas. So there isn't a lot of news, but there's a lot of little things that we need to catch up on.
There is a lot of news.
I mean, like, there's nothing, like, huge. Hey, this is, except for what's in the title. It's kind of a big deal. The North Korean prisoners coming home. There's an FBI informant in the White House. These are kind of big topics.
Yeah,
so
let's start with that. So,
dive right in.
Sorry, I'm bringing up my articles. I have the news in my head. I gotta go grab them from all the different sources that we delve into throughout the day, right? So I'm gonna show you a video with Donald Trump bringing out the North Koreans. If you haven't seen it, if you saw it live, I didn't see it live. I was sleeping. Patriot Gallery was like, it was so momentous. It was so awesome. I watched it the next day. Still just as powerful to me. What's even more insane though about it is the way the left. Everybody kept saying, now the left can't really spin this, can they? They're saying
there's nothing they can't spin.
You know, Donald Trump brought these three people home to cover up the Stormy Daniels thing. We're going to talk about that a little bit.
What he should have done is not brought them home.
Right. Well, actually, some on the left, Chuck Schumer. You don't need to watch the video I watched, do you? Chuck Schumer's on the Senate floor saying we shouldn't be making a big deal out of this. This is what should have happened. This is not a victory. This is expected. You know, it's kind of like when your parents tell you to clean your room.
No, it's not actually like that at all. No, because you know what? Your boy Obama didn't get it done.
Yo.
It's not, you know what? You're right. It is expected, but it's still a big deal. And it is something that obviously the past 8 years did not achieve. Actually, how long have North and South Korea been at war with each other since 69?
50s.
The 50s?
Yeah.
None of your presidents did it. George Sr., George Jr., no one has been able to bring these two countries together, but it's expected. We shouldn't celebrate this. Chuck Schumer, you make me ill.
This is what makes me, I think we all knew something like this had to happen. Donald Trump, he got flack for saying, I was wiretapped, blah, blah, blah. The Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
Kimberly Strassel, she is an elite journalist.
Mm-hmm.
One of the very few truth seekers in the elite journalism world.
Okay.
So this literally came out in the Wall Street Journal, and I was shocked at the way I was reading this from the Wall Street Journal. But this is from Zero Hedge about the article in the Wall Street Journal. So on Wednesday, there was an intense battle playing out between the House Intel Committee, Devin Nunes, and the Department of Justice. They were wanting to hold Jeff Sessions in contempt.
Okay.
And the Mueller investigation concerning a cache of intelligence that Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein refuses to hand over, he calls it extortion, right? Remember, our government is held in checks and balances. The FBI, everybody says constitutional crisis. Hello? There was no FBI when the Constitution was written. The FBI isn't in the Constitution.
The FBI shouldn't exist.
Just let everybody know.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with the FBI. They're not a constitutional branch of government. Let's just leave that on the table real quick. So Congress has the oversight over every random rogue organization, even the FBI. Okay,
as they should though.
As they should, because
random rogue agencies should not exist. Congress, maybe you should take care of that.
Right. On Tuesday, the Washington Post reported that Nunes was denied access to the information on the grounds that it could risk. Here's the thing. I was watching Tucker Carlson, or maybe, I don't know, I get them all mixed up, my sources mixed up.
Your sources, Tucker Carlson's your source.
You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so when I read something, I get the information, I don't always remember where it came from.
Right.
the last resort for these insane, corrupt organizations is to say lives will be put at risk if we let the information out.
Of course, that's what they said about the dossier. That's what they said about the memo.
Nobody's dying. It just made the FBI, Department of Justice, even look bad. So what they said was it could risk lives by potentially exposing the source. There's a source. There's this source, okay? And
John, I'm going to mess this up. Kellor, first live moment with the Resistance Chicks. Welcome, John.
Hello.
Glad to have you live.
John. We're talking about this FBI informant, supposed informant. Kimberly Strassel from the Wall Street Journal says she is like almost sure she knows who this person's name is, but she felt like it wouldn't be professional journalism to name the name in her article. She's waiting for this to play out, but she put this article out there saying there is a source, an informant, an FBI informant that was embedded on the FBI pay list, embedded into the Trump campaign for the sole purpose of spying on Donald Trump. Mind blown. All right. So to get this name, Devin Nunes was hearing, and Trey Gowdy, these guys were hearing this name floating around, and they want to know who it is.
Right.
But they're saying if they get this source up, people will die. People will die. Everyone will die.
Do you remember playing that song?
I know. I get stuck in my head all the time.
People will die. What was that? Just go and YouTube search Trump people will die, and you'll get this amazing
So
video.
after the White House caved to Rosenstein and Nunes was barred from seeing the documents, it also emerged that the same intelligence had already been shared with special counsel Robert Mueller as part of his investigation into the alleged Russian involvement in the 2016 election. On Wednesday afternoon, however, news emerged that Nunes and the House Oversight Government Reform Committee chairman Trey Gowdy, who is actually retiring this year because he is literally pulling his hair out because he knows in the past how many years, I think he said 8 years he's been in office, he hasn't gotten anything done. Nothing gets done. So
Wasn't that with Jim Comey?
What
The spoof.
No. I think it was over like healthcare or something.
No, it was not.
I don't know. Okay, would receive a classified Thursday briefing at the DOJ on the documents. This is, to put lightly, incredibly significant. Why? Because it appears that the FBI may have had a mole embedded in the Trump campaign. In a bombshell op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, Kimberly Strassel shares a few key insights about recent developments. And here's the conclusion that she gets to. First, you can kind of get hooked. I believe I know the name of the informant, but my intelligence sources did not provide it to me and refused to confirm it. It would therefore be irresponsible to publish it. She says, about the FBI source, she says, did the Bureau engage in outright spying against the 2016 Trump campaign? The Department of Justice lost its battle with Congress Thursday when it allowed House Intelligence Committee members to view classified documents about a top secret intelligence source that was part of the FBI's investigation into the Trump campaign. Even without official confirmation of that source's name, the news so far holds some stunning implications. The timeline here is very significant because the intelligence community is trying to say that they did not rely on the now defunct, disproved dossier, okay, to go after Donald Trump. There's this low-level guy, Papadopoulos, who supposedly let something slip about some ties with Russia in Australia, and the Australian government supposedly passed that on to the United States, which led the Obama administration to start spying on Donald Trump. However, if they embedded this source in before the Papadopoulos, if they started a wiretap before Papadopoulos, that means that they what did they use? Everybody wants to know, what did you use to start spying on him? What is your evidence of this Russian collusion? We have found none. What was the beginning? Some offhand remark of some low-level guy in Australia started a giant thing where you have people calling for Donald Trump to be impeached because of Russian collusion. It's absolutely insane. This was, bar none, set up by these people inside Wray, McCabe, Strzok, Page. We heard about it in the text messages. It says, we have an insurance policy just in case Trump gets elected. It was this get the ball rolling about the Russia collusion. Hillary Clinton was in on it because she was dropping these things during the campaign.
So, but my question is, was this dropped informant possibly their source for this investigation of Russian collusion, and that's why they couldn't reveal it?
All right, so the Justice Department and the FBI outright hid critical information from a congressional investigation. At the Thursday press conference, even Speaker Ryan, who is well-known swamp creature, bluntly noted that, that Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes' request for details on this secret source was wholly appropriate. That people keep floating that around. And completely within the scope of the committee's long-running FBI investigation. If Congress can't investigate the FBI, who's supposed to investigate everybody else, including the president, who investigates the investigators? Who is supposed to oversee the DOJ? Literally, they are operating with immunity. They are people with obvious political leanings, as we have seen with Strzok and Page. Obvious reasons to have collusion amongst themselves.
But you know what?
And yet we don't have Congress doesn't have the same policing ability. There's no policing the police.
Right. But what I find interesting is that this is kind of the first time, and it shouldn't be a surprise, that we have seen this kind of underhanded bias against any administration. And I believe, my humble opinion is, because Trump is the first president that is not deep state.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter right or left or whatever. This isn't our guy, so now we have to be on him like white on rice.
Right.
I mean, seriously. So we have to put something in there, someone in there to monitor, to do whatever. That's why these people have been going at it so hard.
So
that's what I think.
The translation here is that these departments knew full well that they had to hand over this information to Congress, and they were stonewalling on purpose to cover themselves up. Obviously, there's text message from Peter Strzok and Page. They went missing, suddenly were found, and then the ones that were found weren't given to Congress, and some were blacked out. They only got a few pages, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is the biggest runaround. I mean, I don't know how these people are still standing. I'd be so dizzy. House investigators found a name or sniffed out a name, and Nunes in recent weeks issued a letter and a subpoena demanding more details. You got Rod Rosenstein. He said this was extortion, and he delivered a speech in which he claimed that declining to open the FBI files to review is a constitutional duty. Liar, you're not under the Constitution, by the way.
Hang on, wait a minute. Declining to open them is the constitutional duty.
Right.
Not actually opening them, which would be the constitutional duty.
Right.
And it is constitutional. You're saying that the FBI is not covered under the Constitution. Actually, they are, because they are not their own entity.
Right.
Because they didn't exist at the framing of the Constitution. They fall under any other thing that would require monitoring and looking into. They're not. It's kind of like the Federal Reserve. Everybody says that they are above the law, they are above Congress, they are above investigation, and they aren't. That actually falls under the powers of Congress.
And in following under the powers of Congress, they're actually supposed to fall under the powers of us. The FBI, if it should exist at all, they're supposed to be accountable to us, we the people, right? Okay.
I love this from Jim West in the UK. I just realized yesterday that I've been confusing Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney for a decade.
Oops.
Poor Jim. I'm glad you got that correct.
Really?
Not really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's not really important.
All right.
They're not important key players.
The Justice Department actually asked the White House to back them in their stonewalling, and even began spinning the daddy of all super spook arguments that revealing any detail about this particular asset could result in, quote, loss of human lives.
Hang on, wait, because now would be a really good time because I really just want to, and I have it here. Can I just,
These
so that this can get in your heads,
blood money.
like
People
it's already in
will
ours.
die. Let's be very clear. Senate Republicans are paying for tax cuts for the wealthy with American lives.
People need kidneys. It's sad but decreed. Yet the senator's hoarding one more than she.
I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Go back.
People for the wealthy with American dogs.
People need kidneys, it's sad but decreed, yet the senator's hoarding one more than she needs. I offer this bill and I hope you'll vote aye, unless of course you just want people to die. Traffic deaths have many crying with fear. Over 30,000 people are dying each year. This modest change I propose must be applied, unless of course you just want people to die. Alcohol deaths are exceeding comparisons. Black people, white people, Native Americans. We need to ban alcohol, it can't be denied, unless of course you just want people to die. Murders are bad, they have no defenders, yet many are committed by repeat offenders. I say lifetime in prison, whatever the crime, unless of course you just want people to die. I don't have a bill or a groan to detail, I just need a short clip for my donor email. Tim, there's blood on your hands, you want people to die. That good? Cool. Tim, dinner at 5? Yeah. The car deaths I mentioned are terrible stuff. Doesn't seem one seatbelt is ever enough. You must vote for my act so that fewer will cry, unless of course you just want people to die. The carbs, the container, we cannot ignore. Whipped cream's killing more people than ever before. This bill would be passed and be ratified if those people that didn't want people to die. Why not weigh all the costs, the effects, the results, empathize with each other as if we were adults, use our brains to craft arguments, not vilify, see that freedom's a trade. You want people to die! I tried.
So, I'm sorry, I couldn't. You know what? We like to keep things light around here, and that ever since Leah started with this, they're saying if we release this, people will die. You just want people to die. That has been in my head, so I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
All right, so thanks to the Washington Post unnamed law enforcement leakers, we know that Mr. Nunes' request deals with a top secret intelligence source of the FBI and the CIA who is a U.S. citizen and who was involved in the Russian collusion probe. When government agencies refer to sources, they mean people who appear to be average citizens but use their profession or their contacts to spy for the agency. Ergo, we might take this to mean the FBI secretly had a person on the payroll who used his or her non-FBI credentials to interact in some capacity with the Trump campaign. You want to say something?
No. My mom didn't have volume, and then she realized that she had her speakers off.
Oh.
And I was laughing at her.
So this amount would amount to spying and is hugely disconcerting. It would also be a major escalation from the electronic surveillance we already knew about, which was bad enough. Obama political appointees rampantly unmasked Trump campaign officials to monitor their conversations, while the FBI played dirty with its surveillance warrant against Carter Page, failing to tell the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, the FISA court, that it came from Hillary Clinton and the DNC. All right. So, did they infiltrate the Trump campaign? Yeah. Which would lead to another big question for the FBI. When? The Bureau has been doggedly sticking with its story that a tip in July 2016 about the drunken ramblings of George Papadopoulos launched its counterintelligence probe. Still, the players in this affair, the FBI, the former director Jim Comey, and the Steele dossier authors, have been suspiciously vague on the key moments leading up to that launch date. When precisely was the Steele dossier delivered to the FBI? When precisely did the Papadopoulos information come in? And to the point, when precisely was this human source operating? Because if it was prior to that infamous Papadopoulos tip, then the FBI isn't being straight. It would mean that the Bureau was spying on the Trump campaign prior to that moment.
And it does.
And that in turn would mean that the FBI has been spurred to act on the basis of something other than a junior campaign aide's loose lips. We also know that among the Justice Department's stated reasons for not complying with Nunes' subpoena was its worry that to do so might damage international relationships. This suggests the source may be overseas, have ties to foreign intelligence, or both. That's notable given the highly suspicious role foreigners have played in this escapade. It was an Australian diplomat who reported the Papadopoulos conversation. The dossier author was Christopher Steele, and he's British, who used to work for MI6. And retains ties to that spy agency as well as to a network of former spooks. It was a former British diplomat who tipped off Senator John McCain to the dossier. How this top secret source fits into this puzzle could matter deeply. And she says, I believe I know the name, but my intelligence sources cannot confirm or deny. So it's time to rip off this Band-Aid to see what's going on here.
Is it a Band-Aid?
There is a lot of foreign collusion going on here. Some
glue.
Australian diplomat.
I think it's
British
very
government.
Wait, let me do my Australians. Very fitting. No, okay. It's just fitting that we're going to Australia because we have a package that we're going to open later
from
Australia. Yeah.
Boomerang. That's if I start saying boomerang, then I can get an Australian accent going. But you have to say boomerang and kangaroo.
G'day.
G'day.
And Gary, he said, if you don't subscribe to the Resistance Chicks, then you want people to die.
That is really funny.
And
Gary.
that made me laugh. Thank you, Gary.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Subscribe right now and click the like button unless you want people to die.
Yeah, if you don't, people will die and you want them
All right,
to.
so you had Barack Obama was wiretapping and listening on all of the Trump campaign transition team calls, and on Thursday we found out his deep state minions had a spy inside the Trump campaign. Law professor and author and pundit Glenn Reynolds posted his thoughts on the latest developments. He's pointed out months ago that the spying on Trump was worse than we can even imagine. He says, I don't think the FBI is being straight. I'm speculating, of course, but I think it's going to turn out that they were spying on Trump from surprisingly early on, and that they didn't expect him to win, and that when he did win, the Russian collusion thing was hyped up as a smokescreen. Flashback. March 2017. Hypothesis. The spying on Trump thing is worse than we can even imagine. And once it was clear Hillary had lost and it would inevitably come out, the Trump-Russia collusion talking point was created as a distraction. Dude, we could tell that from the very beginning, okay? The truth shall be revealed. I know that there's a lot of things going on right now. There are mixed feelings about pulling out of the Iran deal. There's mixed feelings.
Sure.
About what's happening with Israel bombing Iran bases in Syria and Syria retaliating, okay? I recognize that Donald Trump isn't the superhero that many people wanted him to be, that he is a fallible human being who we are still every day trying to figure out. But this will go down in history as the day. It doesn't matter, you guys, what Donald Trump does. I mean, honestly, it really doesn't matter. I know we can get hyped up about the things that he does and doesn't do. But Hillary Clinton is not president.
I mean, come on. You know what? It really is like this. Sometimes you're having a really bad day, right? You're just super depressed, and you have to start going over the lists in your life that are awesome. I have both of my arms. Really important. I mean, that's something really to be grateful for. All 10 digits on my hands.
You have a nice set of teeth.
I do have a nice set of teeth. Well, they function, and I can eat. I have a roof over my head. I have food, those kinds of things. Can't we just go back to that? I mean, Hillary's not president,
right.
Kind of meaning you're not a quadriplegic.
Right. That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Can't we just at least meet there?
But if they thought Hillary was sure to win, why bother spying on Trump? A sinister reason to prosecute him for something, anything they could discover after he lost, so as to properly cow Hillary's opposition. That might be true, but on the other hand, LBJ spied on Goldwater when his win was assured, and Nixon did the same thing versus McGovern. Why would unthreatened incumbents spy on opponents they expect to lose? Maybe they do it for the same reason a dog licks himself, because he can. Still just a hypothesis, but one that seems increasingly likely to be true. And if it is, the sinister reason also seems more likely to be true. Lick yourself, Democrats, DNC, Deep State.
That seemed a little bit graphic.
All right, Crooked Hillary wears a $1,100 Hermes scarf to hide bulging back brace. Why am I bringing this up?
What is a Hermes scarf?
I don't know, some famous person. Where do you get a scarf for $1,100, Ernie?
Because when you read Hermes, I think herpes. So I'm thinking that's fitting too.
Greek goddess.
Okay.
God. All right,
Maybe.
so that creature who is actually not functioning as a human being, she breaks something every week. Right? It's like she's like Frankenstein.
Well, now she's the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Everywhere she goes, she has something going on. She had a back brace in New York City this past weekend. This photo
that
here.
That is just all kind of weird to me. Now, I want to say something.
She was in New Zealand.
I'm the kind of person where if I have to wear a back brace, I'm just wearing it. Y'all gonna know I'm wearing it. And it's like, dude, I'm injured. Feel sorry for me, maybe. But the fact that she's trying to hide it, what do you gotta hide, Hillary? Why are your injuries and poor health something worth hiding?
Let's see if I can get that picture up bigger.
Maybe it's not a back brace. Maybe it's an entire like upper body implant.
So she visited.
Maybe she's turning into a robot. Like
she visited
Iron
the
Man.
Kiwis with the same back. I mean, I can't imagine this. Why?
Oh my gosh, that's it.
This is so freaky.
I'm serious. They are going to turn her into some sort of like alien robot to take over the world. We are living in a movie. I just solved it. They're replacing her body parts by machines one at a time, which is why when she couldn't get in the car, it's kind of like Data from Star Trek, like when they do that thing in the back of his head.
Let's
we
have to remind you of this.
No, I'm serious. Like her electronics are shutting down here. Somebody messed up the wiring or something. That's definitely what's happening. Gary, Cyborg Hillary. Whoop, yep. They kind of failed. Hey, I love this guy's hand right here. Like somehow moving that hand there is going to help hide it. Y'all didn't see that? Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. It was a Kevlar vest. She knows the deep state wants her whacked. Do you think the deep state wants her whacked?
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, maybe they're done with her. Maybe they do just want her
Dude,
out.
I gotta tell you, that ain't no Kevlar vest. I can tell you that, man. That is a back brace.
Again, if I was wearing a Kevlar vest, y'all gonna know. Go ahead and try and shoot at me. Invincible. Unless you have armor-piercing rounds.
So, Maxine Waters, I would love to just make another video, just about her because it's always awesome.
Would you remember when this is like going back to the good old days of last year when we used to just do fun Nancy Pelosi and Maxine videos? Those were the days.
They were the days. So she went unhinged.
We are trying to make sure that we're making America great every day in every way. And the best way to do that is to stop talking about discrimination and start talking about the nation. We're coming together as a people in spite of what you say. Thank you, gentlemen. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired. Members are reminded to address their remarks to the chair. The gentleman from Texas reserves, the gentlelady from California.
Thank you very much. The gentleman, Mr. Kelly, please do not leave. Because I want you to know that I am more offended as an African-American woman than you will ever be. And this business about making America great again, it is your president that's dividing this country. And don't talk to me about the fact that we don't understand what happens on the automobile. No, I will not yield. No, I will not yield.
Okay.
Don't tell me that we don't understand. That's the attitude that's been given toward women time and time again.
The gentlelady will suspend. The chair wishes to remind all members that they are to address their remarks to the chair. Gentlelady will continue.
The chair, but don't stop me in the middle when you didn't stop him in the middle. And so I shall continue. Don't you dare talk to me like that and think that somehow women don't understand what goes on the floor of automobile dealers.
Minded to direct her remarks to the chair. The gentlelady will continue in order.
I will continue to do that. However, I don't appreciate that you did not interrupt him when he was making those outrageous remarks about him knowing more about discrimination than I know about discrimination. I resent that, and I resent the remark about making America great again. He's down here making a speech for this dishonorable president of the United States of America. Having said that, I reserve the balance of my time, and no, yield? I do not yield not 1 second to you. Not 1 second. Not 1 second to you.
Is that it? It's over? Like, all right, so dang it if we don't have Parliament, because that could have been more epic, right?
You have to address your comments to the speaker, and I feel like it would have been way cooler just to have an all-out brawl.
Yeah!
Let's do it. Let's just,
Yarn. No, I will not yield. I will not yield, and I will continue to do so, but I resent the fact that you didn't interrupt him when he was telling me that I would ever.
I'm a black woman, don't you tell me. I resent Make America Great Again. This president is racist, and I'm a black woman, and I know everything about racism because I'm black. That's what I am. Why aren't those flowers behind us?
Well, because they'd cover up the television.
That's true. All right.
I love the fact that Maxine thinks that she represents black women.
Yo.
Because there are a whole slew of amazing black women that know you cray lady, and you do not represent them. You just do not. I'm sorry.
Yeah. She one flew over the cuckoo nest. She she flies every day over that cuckoo nest. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what. All right. So Julian Assange has been locked in the Ecuadorian embassy. Yeah. Now they have taken away his phone, email.
They did that a while ago, right?
Yeah. Well, people are talking. His mom's on Twitter. Pamela Anderson is trying to get Kanye West to get awareness out there for Julian Assange, which is fine for me.
Okay, awareness. I thought she was going to try to ask him to do something. I was like, that boy ain't got no power. What's he going to do? Wrap his way in there?
To get awareness out there. And then Jack Posobiec asked Sarah Palin what she thought about Julian Assange. And Julian Assange has been denied phone calls and visitors to the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he and his cat share a 215 square foot room. The decision was made amid ongoing talks between the UK and Ecuador to decide the fate of the WikiLeaks founder. They're just trying to kill him, I think. He still has no access to the internet and communications. There is a dialogue. There is a will and an interest to move forward in the solution of this matter. So here's the thing. Julian Assange was a reporter. He reported. You can't punish the reporter for getting things out there.
No.
You really can't. And this, in March, everything was cut off. And Jack Posobiec with One American News met up with Sarah Palin and got some. It'll play. You have to get it really loud.
Well, I think that Republicans, conservatives, are looking really good if they would consider the accomplishments that are going on right now in this administration. Well, I think the mainstream and conservatives is covering you guys are if they would consider the accomplishments that are going on right now in this administration. That the mainstream press isn't covering. You guys are. Bless your hearts. Thank you for covering the successes.
Bless your hearts. I love the way you do it.
The greater good in America.
It's
amazing what President Trump, this administration is able to accomplish.
I've got my Sarah Palin glasses.
People are paying attention to that. They'll realize that we need to keep it going, the agenda going.
Amazing. So, quick question, and you don't have to comment on, but so Julian Assange has been in the news a lot lately. I know you guys have a little bit of history. What is your take on his situation right now? The stuck in the embassy, no internet, all of that.
Right. We do have a little bit of history. I came out some time ago when he had leaked or published somehow my private emails, and I was so ticked off at him, and I thought he was just such a foe until I started figuring out where he was headed. And where he was headed with his agenda, with what he's doing, is trying to provide people information so that we can make better decisions for our own lives, for our communities, for our country, for the world. And I've been able to really appreciate him more. And appreciate him more so much that I actually publicly apologized to him for calling him out and kind of being a stinker to him.
You don't hear Hillary Clinton saying that.
So I appreciate that he's all about freedom. You know, he wants people to have information, and that's power, and we need that.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Trevor.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks.
So there you go. Turn that down.
There you go.
It's gonna blow our ears next time.
There you go. All right, so I'm gonna give you some random news here. Let's see. So there was this thing called the Met Gala.
Yes.
And the theme of the Met Gala, and why I'm bringing this to you, is I'm going to get this right. Let me get this right.
Always be sure that you're right, and then go ahead. Gary says you look very intelligent in your glasses.
Thank you. As soon as you put them on, you get smarter.
Bruce Shepard says, for what reason does a U.S. official need a Swiss bank account for?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
All right, so the annual Met Gala, I guess people get crazy there. I'm going to play you some of this. The theme was heavenly bodies, fashion, and the Catholic imagination. So it was religion themed. Now, some of this is very provocative dress. I'm going to show it to you because it is...
We don't have stripes.
It is the most sacrilegious thing
what in
you
the
have
world
ever
is
seen.
that? Is that like some sort of dragon skin with
She's an
wings?
angel, I'm sure. But Rihanna's even better. She's the Pope.
But you know what? That's kind of fitting for the current Pope.
So the idea that these people sexualized a celibate religious
Who is that? Is
order.
that Katy Perry?
Yeah, she looks like a
She doesn't
hag.
even look like herself. I think she's demon possessed.
Of course she is. Okay, so Sarah Jessica Parker wore a nativity on her head.
Although, hang on, out of those other two, this seems more fitting. I mean, she's
It's
totally
ridiculous. J-Lo has a cross over her
chest.
female goods. Madonna, trying to be the
Okay,
Madonna.
but hang on, because that makes sense. I can go with that. That one I can. Nah, see, that's a no-no. Why were all these stars here? I mean, this is so ridiculous. Who dresses like, wow, yeah, okay.
There's Rihanna as the Pope, a sex Pope. I'm going to call her the sex Pope.
That is painful.
And the Catholic Church has responded by saying it was great. It was wonderful.
Of course. At least her upper body was covered.
But here's the thing. This is just mainstreaming what they've been doing for years. You've seen all these occultic people.
She's covered? Why not? She kind of looks like a nun.
She's a nun.
Yeah, without the...
He's Jesus, and I think that who's that chick?
Whoa, hang on. Pause that right there. Pause that. You can't pause it. What is this? Because there are eyeballs there. I don't know if that's clear enough for you people to see. She has knives stabbing in her heart, and she's wearing a wing on her head.
But she's with Jesus, so it's all good.
No, because Jesus would never wear anything that tacky.
Dude, that is the most fashionable crown of thorns I've ever seen. Walking around as Jesus with a golden crown of thorns is just...
But is it a crown of thorns, though? It
Yes.
looks like flowers.
It's supposed to be a crown of thorns.
But okay, see, but I can go with unless that's see-through, because it looks like it might be see-through.
I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be naked just to be disgusting and to totally, you know, it was very disrespectful.
I could not agree more. That was incredibly.
But
incredibly
and here is
in poor taste.
Here is and that, you know.
Dang. Okay, so hang
Kardashian-
on. No. Go ahead and leave that one up. Go back. I don't care. That's tiny. They can't see it that big. Let's go back to Michelle's opinions on Kanye West, because I have been trying to be in the middle with this boy, and because I know you people are excited about him doing what he's doing, but he is married to that. Okay. Anybody that's going to reveal that much goods and wearing two crosses at the same time,
They don their Sunday best.
I got
The dress code that was given to guests was implicit plea to dress somewhat more modestly. I don't think that really happened. You may be asking, what is the church doing? Why is the church part of all this? Says Timothy Cardinal Dolan. But think about it just for a moment. It's because the church and the Catholic imagination, the theme of this exhibit, are all about three things: truth, goodness, and beauty. That's why we're into such things, such as art, culture, music, literature, and yes, even fashion, says Timothy Cardinal Dolan.
I know why they did it.
Tickets
Heavenly
to
Bodies.
the event are $30,000. You get a table for $275.
Heavenly Bodies. People probably think of angels being like little naked baby cherubs. And so they were like, maybe I should be like a naked baby. And that's why they dressed naked. That's what it was. Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, not much to go on from there. This is one of those things just to show you the culture of the left. But the real question
I know all them women, they say heavenly bodies. I got a heavenly body, so if I show it, that's heavenly. That's what they were thinking. That's why they did it.
Here's the thing. I'm all good. I'm fine with this. But I want next year's gala to be Muhammad and the Quran.
Well, okay, and Chris says it's better than them coming in hijabs.
No, not really. Not really. See, this sexualizing things is the antithesis, is the opposite of the hijab. Okay? It's just the opposite.
It's its own counterpart, I think.
It's its own balance. There's the middle, right? You've got the hijab over here trying to cover up sexuality and sexualizing women through the hijab.
Yeah.
And this is sexualizing women.
Let's just say it's not better, it's not worse. They're both evil.
Yeah.
Let's go that far.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, totally. But I do want them next year.
If you are to pervert Christianity in the way that they have done this, it is satanic. Islam is satanic. Both satanic.
So yeah, totally. And I'm ready to see the naked hijab women next year. So the Quran, I would like for everyone to dress as Muhammad. And you know why people won't do that? Because they will die. They will blow that Met to pieces. And that's the difference between Christianity and the religion that shall not be named. We roll our eyes. We talk about it. We have discussions. The religion that shall not be named, they blow people up.
So that's the difference. You know, Chris, you're right. If they show up in a hijab, then maybe people come and blow people up. If they show up half naked, people come just to ogle.
Right.
The danger factor might be not the same, but the evil factor, I think, is...
All right, so forgive me for a second because I need to bring up the video.
Of what?
The Trump and the three.
Oh, okay. Very good. John, I think he corrected me on his last name. I think it's Keylor. I prefer Western Satanists to the religion that shall not be named Satanists.
You know what? It's 10 and 1, 20 of the other. 10 and 1, 20 of the other, because you've got the deep state who is killing Satanists killing people all over the world, all over the globe.
Right.
They started the Federal Reserve. They're communists. They started the communist. They brought the Communist Manifesto into your daily life. Here's the thing: Islam, our founding fathers made sure it wasn't part of this country. They Barbary Wars and all that. Communism came in. It's the stealth. We've been over this. It's in our schools.
Right.
It's property taxes, the Federal Reserve. They're literally controlling you every single day. Islam is not controlling you every single day. So actually, Western Satanism affects you every day. I mean, it's totally ruining your life.
Point. Dan Baker on our Facebook Live says, yes, they are always mocking God and his people. True. Very, very
do not
true.
Want to do the view.
Chris says, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Jesus is Lord.
Patriot Gallery. You can see what I was watching last time, huh? So that's not what I want to watch. Patriot Gallery brought it up for me, but it's going to be in the history. Keep talking.
Christians get offended. Religion that will not be named gets revenge. Thank you, Earl's daughter. Which I think is used to be Liberty. Bell, from what I understand.
I have it.
The President and the First Lady.
From CNN.
Giving her a handshake.
From the news station that shall not be named.
In the moment.
And they look in not only good spirits, but in good health.
Yes, I'm still here.
Jeff, suddenly you're there, we're watching.
I love that they do. They're doing like the peace sign.
And you say, no family members.
They
there,
don't look really good. Like they do look sick.
A lot of press, and also the cheering that you heard there was from the airmen and women who are stationed here at Joint Base Andrews. This is a moment.
This was at 2 in the morning.
You can feel the.
Melania had to get up. Everybody had to get up. Nice.
It's 3 a.m.
This
3 a.m.
as we watch this,
they were gearing up for it for a
here.
while. It was 1:30, and my mom was like, "I really think you guys should go live." And I was like, "Dude, Mom, I'm going to bed."
Steps on American soil, on U.S. soil. Of course, they landed in Alaska briefly, but now they're greeting the Vice President, Mrs.
They
Pence,
landed in
and
Alaska, and then they
Secretary
made their way to the
Pompeo.
East Coast.
And again, the cheers you can hear here from the men
So
and women
maybe
in the
you
armed
don't
forces
know a
who
little
are
bit about
watching
these
this happen
hostages.
here. There's not
A couple
crowd
of
other
them
folks here.
were
It is
professors
just,
at a
the
university.
people who are working at the base, but as we can see the handshakes
Most likely,
here,
they were held
keep
captive
an
for
eye
trying to
on the
subvert
President and
the
First
North
Lady.
Korean
He is likely to come this
government
way, and he
because
may
they are Christians.
make remarks, and we'll see if he indeed
So
answers
it
our questions
was,
about this
it
moment
was, they were
here.
prisoners of
They certainly want
conscience.
to capture this moment.
They were part
for
of
history, and
Christian
let's watch.
missionaries who they're actually allowed to build schools over there where you're not supposed to proselytize.
Right.
But they will take you and put you in their work camps. One of them says, they're trying to be magnanimous, I'm sure. They were treated horribly. But, as Patriot Alley pointed out, Otto Ormlander, I'm going to say it right, he's an Ohioan. He was the fourth prisoner. He was delivered earlier, but he died. He was tortured
at the White House
to death. I mean, you can see the terror on his face. Yes, I'm going to talk over seeing it.
He sees North Korea as a real possibility.
So
for
it's really sad that he didn't come back healthy, but Patriot Alley pointed out, one of these guys had...
This place even doesn't have a mic on it.
It gets louder.
They are really three incredible people, and the fact that we were able to get them out so soon was really a tribute to a lot of things, including a certain process that's taking place right now, and that process is very important. So we
They're going to
will
meet
see
in
what
Singapore.
happens. We have a meeting
June 12th?
scheduled in a very short period of time. You'll be hearing about it soon.
It is
We
June
have the
12th.
location set, and we will see if we can do something that people did not think was going to happen for many, many years, and a lot of bad things could have happened in between. So I just want to say this is a special night for these three really great people, and congratulations on being in this country. Thank you. How does it feel to be home?
It's like a dream, and we're very, very happy. 어떻게 대우를 받았습니까? 북한에서 어떻게 대우받았습니까?
How were you treated? You have to give an answer.
You have to give an answer.
여러 가지 대우를 받은 것은 있습니다만은 첫째 노동을 많이 했고.
This guy doesn't look so good. You can tell they weren't treated well.
치료도 좀 받았습니다.
They're sick.
Yes, we were treated in many different ways. For me, I had to do a lot of labor, but when I got sick, I was also treated by them.
My proudest achievement will be, this is a part of it, but will be when we denuclearize that entire peninsula. This is what people have been waiting for a long time. Nobody thought we could be on this track in terms of speed. So I'm very honored to have helped the three folks. They're great people. You know, I got to speak to them on the plane. These are great people. They've been through a lot, but it's a great honor. But the true honor is going to be if we have a victory in getting rid of nuclear weapons. No, not at all. We very much appreciate that he allowed them to go before the meeting. It was sort of understood that we'd be able to get these three terrific people during the meeting and bring them home after the meeting. And he was nice in letting them go before the meeting. I mean, frankly, we didn't think this was going to happen, and it did. So you could say we're a little bit of... It was a very important thing to all of us to be able to get these three great people out. And I must tell you, I want to pay my warmest respects to the parents of Otto Warmbier, who is a great young man
Nobody wants to say because it's an odd last name.
who really suffered. And his parents have become friends of ours. They are spectacular people, and I just want to pay my respects. I actually called them the other day, and Mike called them also, Mike Pence. And they are really incredible people. I think our Secretary of State, despite the fact that the New York Times said he was missing, he was in North Korea, but I think our Secretary of State has done a fantastic job. Mike, did you know that you were missing? They couldn't find you. They couldn't find him. They couldn't find him because he was in North Korea. You know, it's funny. I don't want to comment on whether or not I spoke to him. Well, we're starting off on a new footing. This is a wonderful thing that he released the folks early. That was a big thing, very important to me. And I really think we have a very good chance of doing something very meaningful. And if anybody would have said that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even a year ago, you would have said that's not possible. So a lot, I will say this, a lot of very good things have happened. Say it. I really think he wants to do something. I think he did this because I really think he wants to do something and bring that country into the real world. I really believe that, John, and I think that we're going to have a success. I think this will be a very big success. It's never been taken this far. There's never been a relationship like this, and we're starting from here. But I really think a lot of progress has been made, and we'll see what happens. We're talking about a few weeks. I guess many of you will be with us, but some great things can happen, and that's what we hope. So I want to thank you all. It's very early in the morning. I think you probably broke the all-time in history television rating for 3 o'clock in the morning, that I would say. But I want to just congratulate. These are 3 great people, and congratulations.
So one of them I know has North Korean parents. He actually grew up in China, became a U.S. citizen about 6 years ago.
Wow. I'm sorry, and I hope nobody takes offense to this, but I have to say it. I don't think that Obama would have been there at 3 in the morning.
No.
Not only would this not have happened, it didn't
right
happen with Obama in office. It actually wasn't a priority for him.
Right.
It just was not. Not only would this not have happened, but he would not have gone at 3 in the morning.
Right. No
I'm
way, Jack. No way, Jack. All right, so I want to show you how how CNN responded to this.
Did they play the Chuck Schumer thing?
No. Come on.
Maybe they don't want to play it because they're embarrassed.
Of course, my internet's going to go out on me. Internet, play.
This success in the foreign policy field might be enough, to distract attention away from the Robert Mueller investigation into Russia, the criminal investigation of his own personal attorney, the Stormy Daniels affair. What's sort of thinking there in the White House? What have you heard?
There's no question that all of these weighty matters here are indeed giving the president something to focus on. The Mueller investigation is indeed alive and well, but the White House officials and supporters of the president actually hope he can focus on something substantive, like the release of these 3 Americans, and indeed this diplomacy.
Maybe.
So this guy, I have to tell you, Avanti. He is a crook. If you didn't know this, he's got. Let me see if I can bring up.
Did you? Never mind. Talking to the dogs. Sorry.
Let me see if I can bring up the Zero Hedge article talking about this idiot who Stormy Daniels lawyer who is actually not. She's not paying him. So the main question everybody wants to know now is who's paying you? Who's paying you? This is not out of the kindness of your heart. He's getting 24/7 coverage. He's had like 56 appearances on CNN and MSNBC. but he is facing disbarment. He somehow got a hold of Trump's lawyers, Michael Cohen, his bank records.
Right.
Now, the Justice Department had gone in and seized a bunch of his records. So, either his bank or someone in the Justice Department leaked these bank records to Avanti. So, right there, that's, criminal.
Mama Donna says, let me see what's important to me. Who the president has slept with or world peace? Just let me think about that for a second. Let me just try to weigh that.
Yeah, so I guess he also owes like $160,000 in unpaid coffee to this coffee chain. And there's
Hang on, how much did you just say how much he owes?
$160,000 in unpaid coffee, but he has $5 million in unpaid taxes to the IRS.
No.
He has over 45 lawsuits filed in connection with this failed coffee venture.
Unless your coffee costs $100 per cup, no one is going to be owing $100,000 to coffee.
Okay, so get this. Patrick Dempsey hooks up with this guy to invest in this failing coffee thing.
Okay.
Patrick Dempsey. Okay, it's called Tully's Coffee.
So it's not his own personal coffee, because you have me confused there.
So since then, Tully has significantly struggled this coffee thing with more than 45 lawsuits that have been filed against the chain's parent company, which how do you say that? Avenatti says he no longer owns. In 2017, the company owed $5 million in unpaid taxes. Nobody owes $5 million in federal taxes. Michael Avanti.
I think Avanti is correct.
According to Patrick Dempsey, Avanti was supposed to bankroll the deal through his company, Global Baristas, but didn't have the funds. Instead, borrowing $2 million at 15%, and then then Patrick Dempsey wanted out. So since then, 46 cases have been filed against this Global Baristas or whatever. And why am I bringing this up? Because this guy is not on the up and up. Dude is not on the up and up. And then everybody wants to know who leaked the bank records to him. And obviously he got some Michael Cohen stuff wrong, but some of it was Michael Cohen's real bank records. So tax lawyers interviewed by the Daily Beast say they're puzzled how Avanti would have access to Cohen's banking info, especially after Daniel's civil case was put on hold. And because the feds are still investigating Cohen, they say it's highly unusual for SARs, which are confidential and not to be made public, to be leaked. Experts told the Daily Beast the level of detail in Avanti's report suggests he obtained Treasury documents that only the agency's financial crimes enforcement network had access to, or which were requested by law enforcement, such as the U.S. Attorney's Office for Southern District of New York. So somebody is leaking, obviously, within the government.
It's not just somebody, though, because I think that you would be hard-pressed to find an FBI or CIA agent that doesn't have incontinence of the mouth.
Yeah,
and
so
words.
Yeah, the question is where did that come from?
Or the sending of documents.
Where are they coming from? All right, so moving on about cover the FBI source.
My mom laughs at my jokes. Leah doesn't exactly always laugh at my jokes.
Oh, I know what else I want to show you guys. There was, I'm not sure where I'm going to find this. So in Australia, some idiot.
Going back to Australia.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. Funny Australian news.
I think Rolling Machine is here. Rolling Machine, we are going to open your package.
Oh, that's fantastic.
At the end of the show.
I'm sorry to make Australia look kind of silly, but there's some sort of weird sex therapist woman.
No,
it's no.
Not the one that said that children need to be able to give consent. Now, overseas, y'all call them nappies. We call them diapers.
Right.
That children need to give consent before you change their diapers because it is a sexual thing. This reminds me of Sigmund Freud, who sexualized children, thinking, that boys breastfeeding from their mother were having a sexual experience.
Yeah, so we're going to Australia here.
These people are so sick in the head. They are the ones sexualizing the children. Because if you can, and here's why. I want you guys to understand this. I'm going to get serious for a second. There is a reason behind the sexualization of children.
Right.
Because if they can be sexual beings, then they can consent to having sexual relations with these predators.
Right.
Anybody that comes at you saying this kind of line and this kind of narrative.
How young are some of the children you
once is a pedophile.
talk to?
We work from children from 3 years old. We work with parents from birth.
From birth?
Yeah. Just about how to set up a culture of consent in their homes. So I'm going to change your nappy now. Is that okay? Of course, the baby's not going to respond. Yes, Mum, that's awesome. I'd love to have my nappy changed. But if you leave a space and wait for body language and wait to make eye contact, then you're letting that child know
that it's weird, that you're acting
matters.
weird, that something here is weird.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm not a parent, but I've done a lot of babysitting. And I've seen a lot of parents interact with their children. Now, when the kids get to the age where they're like just before potty trained and they're cognitive enough to rebel, you're going to get over here and get your diaper changed. Okay? You don't get a choice. This is not there should not be a communication
lefty
of
lunacy,
asking.
I just got to tell you.
The parents, I got to tell you, the parents that are constantly asking their kids what they want,
That is
my
bad.
brain goes, huh?
Right.
Hey, I have a snack for you. It's cherry. Enjoy.
Right.
I don't care what flavor you want.
So in the UK, I just have to let you know that, hi, Bubby.
Sydney got a haircut.
We've
never shaved her before. She's a border collie with beautiful long hair, but it's been matted down like a
been so
dreadlock like
hot.
her whole life, and she's been so hot.
Hey, Bubs! Hey, Bubs! Come and say hi to everybody! Say hi!
She got a haircut.
Say hi! I would you. I would
She
you.
feels all nice and cool.
She does.
Actually, this is the first time I've ever picked her up, and she's so cold.
Does it feel good? Yay!
And everybody thought she was tubby. She wasn't tubby. She had fur on her that thick. Literally, it was like that. Tubby, Bubby. We call her Bubby.
Our other Jasper is a husky, and you can rake out her undercoat, and then she's nice and soft and flowing, and it's like there's no fur there. But Sydney's just like held on.
And I told this to Kansas. I said, Woody, you're having issues. I said, listen, I think, because Sydney is his dog, that
Bubby,
she's just had hair for years matted down that never came out. I mean, her top coat looked beautiful. It was really soft. But I think that undercoat just never fully came out, and it just kept kind of dreadlocking. So I told him that I think we may not have to ever do this again. Gary wants to know if she gave consent to be on camera. No, and she also didn't give consent to being shaved.
But she likes it now.
But she is happy, I think.
She's really happy. All right, so in the UK, 6-year prison sentences for online posts against religion and transgender. Now, it's not just against religion or transgender. It's any thought or any fact. If you post facts, right? Like Tommy Robinson has
Somebody
been
just
taken
said
off
his
Twitter.
YouTube was taken down.
Oh, dear. Is that true?
I hope not.
People promoting hostility towards a religion or transgendered online can get much harsher sentences of up to 6 years in jail, especially if they have a large online presence.
So the further your reach of these statements, you have injured and damaged and brainwashed more people. So it's like a child molester that has had 40 victims versus 1. They're going to get more punishment because apparently posting against the religion that shall not be named or against transgenderism has now become a violent act.
And there's no set rules. It's just if it's perceived to be hate or hostility.
Yeah.
So Raheem says Ministry of Truth, the UK government set
and yet we're the
rapid
fascists.
response to fake news unit. I think it's especially disconcerting in the UK and Europe, where the EU and the UK have gone to these social media people and taken down thousands of accounts, from what I understand, and Yay. Yay for that. Right? So, what else we have? Oh, yeah. You know what? We are going to cover this just because it is the left. And I guess this dude, New York Attorney General, did some really creepy things to his wives and resigned immediately. And he set himself up as the head of the Me Too women's movement.
No.
It's usually these really rich white guys in political power who he was actually supposed to be going after Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
But it comes out that he was really kind of covering for him.
There has always been something about this Me Too thing.
In the wake of Eric Schneiderman's resignation as Attorney General of New York, some of his longtime friends on the left are professing shock. You've heard them. We just can't believe it, they say. How could a man so publicly committed to feminism beat women? It just doesn't make sense. But of course it makes perfect sense. Self-righteousness is always a marker for secret creepiness. The people yelling the loudest are usually hiding the most. Keep that in mind the next time you hear some Democratic politician lecturing you about your moral inferiority. That's the guy you need to watch carefully. Chances are he's up to something awful behind closed doors. Hypocrisy isn't just a feature of modern liberalism, it's the heart of modern liberalism. Ever wonder how people who advocate for abortion can say they stand for children? How a movement that demonizes an entire race can claim to oppose racism? The same way Al Gore can travel by private jet while trying to ban your SUV. Because consistency does not matter to the left. Only virtue matters. We're good people, therefore we must rule. You are not, therefore you must obey. Al Gore doesn't believe he's a hypocrite. Eric Schneiderman probably doesn't think he is either. You can't commit sin if your intentions are pure, and liberals believe their intentions are the purest.
Actually, I don't agree with that.
But that sounds like theology and not public policy. That's because it is theology.
I know. I'm just saying.
Modern liberalism is a religious movement. It's a replacement for the Protestant Christianity that the left worked so hard to undermine and destroy. Liberals are speaking the language of faith, albeit a faith without God. This is the main reason that right and left talk past each other. The reason our public debates are so weird and unsatisfying. One side arrives with facts and stats and arguments. The other brags about its decency. One side is trying to convince, the other is trying to convert. You can beat a liberal in an argument, but you can never convince him that you won. He cares much more deeply than you do, and therefore he knows he's right, by definition, and nothing can convince him otherwise.
True.
Somewhere tonight, Eric Schneiderman is marinating in his shame, probably unshaven and alone. His career is over, his reputation is destroyed. He faces years of potential legal action. He is a broken man. He is in agony. And yet, on some level, despite all of that, Eric Schneiderman still knows he's a better person than you are. Seth Barron is associate editor of City Journal. He predicted in public on Twitter that Schneiderman would be exposed as a creep, and he said it last November. Yesterday, he tweeted this: "How did I know this and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio didn't?" Great question. We've asked him to come on and explain. Seth Barron joins us tonight. Seth, how did you know that? That was a remarkably prescient tweet last November.
Oh, thanks, Tucker. You know, to me, it was just kind of, I thought it was just an open secret. I'd heard stories and rumors about Schneiderman for years. I'd been told by at least 3 or 4 different people since maybe 2009 that he is into rough sex with women, that he likes to date his staffers and is a little pushy with them, that he tried to kidnap a reporter and wouldn't let her out of his car on the way to, and said he was taking her to his apartment. So I sort of assumed that this was just, you know, common knowledge, more or less. Now, I'm not deeply involved in Albany politics.
So I'm going to stop it there because I can only stomach so much of Schneiderman.
Yeah.
But here,
Leah mouths to you guys who talks about this stuff. Here at Resistance Chicks, it's just not a thing. We don't. How does that come about? Yeah, we know Schneiderman is into rough sex. Like, I wouldn't be having a conversation with somebody where that would come up.
Yeah. So I want to show you the little clip here. Trump getting off of his helicopter and the flag. This North Korean thing, you know.
It's always really epic when somebody puts together a video that has great music.
I'm going to shake people's hands like that. He does.
Okay.
Shake it and then smack it.
Well, next thing you might hurt somebody.
Just really softly. Welcome home. Welcome home.
I love it.
Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about dying John McCain here for a second. He's dying. He's in the process of dying. He's setting up funerals and stuff like that. He has since said that he does not want Trump at his funeral, and he wants Obama there. He has also said his biggest regret was picking Sarah Palin, and Sarah Palin actually responds that she said the comments were like a perpetual gut punch every time she hears them. That's not what Senator McCain has told me all these years, as he's apologized to me repeatedly for people who ran his campaign, some who now staff MSNBC, the newsroom, which tells you a lot. It's I should do it in her accent. It's not a real fun thing. That part of my job is a requirement. Is having to read the news every day. But Palin doubted that McCain said he regretted choosing her as vice president. I attribute a lot of what we're hearing and reading regarding John McCain's statements to his ghostwriters or ghostwriter. I don't know all the details of his condition right now. It happens to me also where people speak for me and the bell is rung and you can't unring the bell. I don't know unless I hear from Senator McCain myself. So, yeah.
Rufus says, if I were dying soon, I would try to make peace, not war. Yeah. And I have to tell you, when I'm with you, but I want to take it a step further. If I were dying soon, I would repent. I would tell the truth. I would get on the side of God and good people. Try to make things right with them.
Right.
That's what I would be doing. I think because he's already made his pact with the devil, like he chose his side, he's just got to continue to, throw for them until the end.
Okay, so one more thing, and then I think maybe we do a song and then the stuff and stuff like that. We'll wrap things up.
But I didn't want to comment on the John McCain dying thing because I don't think I would have anything
nice to say,
constructive to say.
Okay, so I just want to touch on the whole Iran thing a little bit. I know a lot of people are scared, World War III, things like that. Right. Is Iran the same as Syria? Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. I have a moral code. I have two eyes. I have two ears. I can think things through.
Another thing to be thankful for,
Syria has never had an Islamic revolutionary overthrow of the government. They were this close to it, right?
And they're getting closer to that. The more we try to destabilize them and overthrow Assad.
I can tell you this.
Brings them
7 countries in 5 years.
Yeah.
Syria and Iran were the last 2 countries. We have, collectively, with our outcry, stopped, so far, put on hold, the regime change in Syria. However, Israel and the deep state actually still want a regime change in Iran. Now, this is where there is no black and white. Right. In Syria, there was black and white. You could see that people were freer under Assad. Mm-hmm. You put that to the side and you say, you know what? This is better. Who are you going to put in power? Islamic terrorists, right? So we can be black and white in Syria. The people are free. They go to cafes. They don't wear hijab. I mean, so you know what? At that point, you say, let your government run.
Right.
It might be corrupt, but all governments are corrupt. Let your government run. Iran, on the other hand, I don't want to make war with Iran either, right? But Obama gave gave them what was $1.8 billion in exchange for American hostages. We should have gone to war right then. You taking American hostages? Bam! I'm taking you out. I mean, that is an act of war.
Right.
I don't give you money for hostages to a hostile government. That's not how this thing works. The whole Iran nuclear deal was botched from the start, and I can tell with the people speaking out for it, members of the EU, John McCain, the deep state, Trump was right to say we need to renegotiate. And he's not even saying pull out of their Iran deal. He's saying let us renegotiate it. And all it is doing is putting more sanctions on Iran. Now, Iran's going to be fine. Okay? But this is the Iranian politicians who are reacting to Donald Trump's withdrawal from the nuclear deal. This is not how Bashar al-Assad has been reacting. This is not how Russia has been reacting. Russia and Assad have been calm, right? They're not chanting death to America. When you go talk to the Syrians, they love Americans. They want you to come. They love freedom. There's two different mindsets. Watch. Death to Americans, staging an impromptu protest inside Tehran's parliament building. They set fire to a piece of paper of U.S. flag, shouting death to America.
Well, what they didn't realize is that a lot of paper anymore kind of has some flame retardant in it. It's hard to start a fire these days with paper. They needed some better paper. You got to get some paper that really wants to catch. You know, maybe use.
So a lot of people coming to the front, yelling "Death to America! Death to America! Death to America!" If Russia and China and European countries, let's go back here. If Europe and important countries like Russia and China fill this international vacuum in the deal, then perhaps there will be a way to continue. Otherwise, the Islamic Republic of Iran will bring them, the U.S., to their senses with its nuclear actions. They have to know that under such circumstances, Iran has no commitment to remain in the nuclear position it was in before. Death to America! Death to America! And just me reporting on this is probably some sort of crazy hate speech. Me reporting...
Well, now you just chanted death to America.
I ain't saying death to Iran, man.
True.
So, I don't know how this is going to play out, honestly. I'm going to watch and wait and see, but I want Donald Trump to pull out of that Iran deal. I do. I don't think it's a big deal. I think, calm down, Jack. This is what he ran on. Did everybody get upset? Did their panties in a wad when he was wanting to pull out of the Iran deal when he was running? No. Hey, yo, Christians, conservatives, calm down. Syria ain't Iran. Iran ain't Syria. I know Iran is in Syria. It's a crazy mess. Sometimes there's no good guys.
Well, that
sometimes
guy just
there
said,
are lesser bad guys.
If this doesn't happen in the Islamic Republic of Iran, he could have just said the Republic of Iran. Didn't. No. Did not do that. Do you want to do the package?
We're going to do some We're going to do a package, and we're going to do a song.
And we're going to bring out these flowers.
So, Robert Bone has sent Patriot Gallery, our Madre, a Mother's Day present.
No. It wasn't just Robert.
It's everybody. In your name, by the way.
From Robert. But, listen. Dear Patriot Gallery, please accept and enjoy these flowers for Mother's Day. We, the Resistance Chicks extended family worldwide, are grateful to you for raising two wonderful young ladies. These flowers are from all of us to you. Happy Mother's Day. So, Patriot Gallery asked me to say thank you, 100 times thank you. And I think that I speak for the rest of the Resistance Chicks family, and thank you as well for including them in your very, very generous and beautiful and lovely smelling gift.
Beautiful.
Look at these purple ones.
I don't think I've ever seen ones like that before.
They're like lavender colored. Leah, where are you going? Okay, do you want me to start on this package?
Package, yeah.
Hang on, wait. Now look, now there's no one. They just get to look at the flowers. Look at the lovely flowers. Okay, Lee and I were actually really shocked when we saw this came all the way from Australia. I'm going to have to get out of my northern accent, which is actually really close to my normal accent, and get my Australia one on here. Earlier it was kind of sounding a little British. Just for you. Isn't that really pretty? Okay. G'day, girls. How are you traveling? And give me a minute. I'll work it out. I think Rolly's here. It's embarrassing. Now I feel like I'm being watched. As well as always, I hope. This is just a small gift from down under to let you know that you reach all over the globe. So thank you. Regards, John. Rolly Machine. 100.
Good job on that accent.
I'm going to work it out. We're going to get it. Now, he included these absolutely adorable. You know that bees and pigs are practically my favorite thing on earth.
Yes.
It says, thank you. Everyone knows the bee cannot possibly fly except the bee itself as it busily buzzes by. This golden bee is coming to you to acknowledge all the wonderful things you do. I want to put mine in. I love bees. I actually kind of in the middle of a issue with them right now. Say a prayer for my bees. One hive is doing really awesome. One hive is doing awesome but doesn't have a queen. And another third one that I had that somebody gave me a queen cell for, I don't know if it actually has its queen in it. So I actually stress about my bees a lot. I go to bed thinking about them. I'm driving the car. I'm thinking about them. I want to tell you a secret. Do you want to hear the secret?
Yep.
I'm in the shower and I'm thinking about my bees. And
they're so cute.
I was washing my neck. I had just finished shaving my legs and I had my razor in my hand and I was washing my neck with the soap like this. And I went to set the soap down and I was like, literally instantaneously, I was like, what? Like, how? I'm not even thinking straight. I'm so caught up thinking about these bees. Like, I'm thinking about them all the time. So, there you go. There's your Michelle's secret for the day. Okay. This envelope is for herself. She whose face is not seen. The one who makes the three in the mass faith. Leah and Michelle's mum. Again, these are really pretty cards. It says, printed in Australia for you. I'm so close. For you by me. I'll get it there. Just for you. In the clean fresh air, amongst the birds and trees, I venture on a morning walk. I'm going to work it out. I return home on the welcoming veranda, the place I like to be. Thank you for all the work you do, and I'm sure you do.
Keep smelling those roses.
Work that we online don't see. Regards, Jim. John, not Jim. Okay, so this is a charm, right, of a kangaroo. It's so cute. It's adorable. It's absolutely adorable. Don't lose it. Maybe put it back in that envelope. Those flowers really do.
Little Digger, the great war bear.
Little Digger. That is awesome. With enlistment papers to create your story. G'day. During the First World War of 1914 and 1918, around 410,000 of us Aussies joined the Australian Imperial Force. A whopping 330,000 of us went overseas to fight in Europe and in the deserts of the Middle East. Most Aussies know about Gallipoli, how do you say that? Gallipoli? In 1915. But as tough as that was, we faced even bigger challenges when we got to the Western Front. I made a lot of good mates over there, and I lost too many. But as long as we all remember what they did and why, they'll live forever in our stories. Isn't that so cute? Isn't that so stinking cute? Oh my gosh. We had a lovely friend named Edna. She was 8? She still lived by herself, and we helped take care of her. We started washing her windows, and we took care of her for a few years actually, and then she passed away. But she had an incredible life. She lived out on a sheep station, and her mom was from our town, and that's not true. I don't know why I said that. She married a man in World War II and moved here. She was from our area. Her mom was what? She was British. Her mom was British.
Her mom was British, her dad was American.
And her dad was American. But they lived on a sheep station, and it was a really hard life. Like, they dug a well, and it was a 3-day camel ride into town. They ate kangaroo, which I told Edna. I said, I really think that might be why you have lived as long as.
They ate ostrich eggs. It was like 1 dozen eggs and 1 egg. Her friends were the parrots. I don't know if I'm going to turn the camera. She gave us this. Oh, schnimmity snikes. Schnoop. That wasn't awesome.
We're
okay.
Gonna have to retune that.
I know. Well,
did that fall out?
It fell off.
Well, probably because it needs to be tightened and screwed in. It has a Phillips head on the end, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where is it? Oh no, it's still there.
It is still there.
But it's really loose.
Yeah, it is really loose. So yeah, we're all good. We're all fine here. Everything's fine.
We always like to quote from Star Wars, where Han Solo, and he's like, "We're all fine here. How are you?" Hang on, I should get this on camera. Wait, let me turn the camera first so they can see that your guitar is stuck in your hair. One of the tuner knobs. I'm going to pull some hair out there.
I see that. So
we'll screw it in later.
Shimmy.
Wow.
That's my cursing for the day.
That sounded bad, Eric says. Yes, Eric, it did sound bad. Anyway, Edna gave us this. It's a real live boomerang. Real live boomerang. Earlier, my Australian accent was pretty good, I think. And then I get so many accents, and the British one wants to take over.
Mm-hmm. Sure does.
What song are we going to play today, Leah?
We're going to play a song I worked on this week.
Do you want me to go get a screwdriver?
I got it.
Well, see, you're going to be holding it in your hand, so I don't think it's going to fall again.
Well,
she's literally using a pick to tighten this screw.
I had it on me and it fell off, so...
But I don't think that actually didn't fall out, though, dude.
Yeah, it did.
But no, because you didn't put it back in, did you?
I think it might be.
I'm turning. Here you are. Wave hi to the people.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Man, that light's really bright on you. You're like an angel.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Met Gala.
You know what? No. How about not? How about not that?
It's good enough.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. Oh, crikey.
Crikey.
Is that a bad word? Is that a curse word?
I don't know, but this is really, really cute. Oh, crikey.
I love my bee.
Charm.
Actually, should play the bee song, but I don't have that one ready.
Did you put your bee on? Oh,
I
look
put
at that
my
you did.
bee on.
Look at that. Look at it.
This one's tougher.
Steven is crying over the guitar dropped, Kelly says. It's okay. It didn't really land that hard. It just probably came
Here's
untuned.
the thing.
I'm going to guess it's did you retune it?
Let me see. Oh, Lord, have mercy on us.
Oh, my gosh. Here's the thing. What are you going to do? She's going out that way. Whenever there's a loud noise, my mother says someone dropped the rock, diamond, out of their ring. That's right. I like that, actually. Where are you going to play? Let's see. Where are you going to play with the boomerang? We don't throw this outside because I'm afraid it'll break. I mean, it probably wouldn't. But it's really interesting. You know, it's got to be just the right kind of piece of wood, you know, to make a boomerang out of. Oh my gosh. I can't believe and that's the expensive guitar, by the way. You know what she does? She takes my Fender outside when she wants to play. I saw her out there and it went ka-thud. She was playing
Yours
with
is
it.
easily replaced.
Not easily replaced. It was like $500.
It was $350.
No,
I got to
like
talk the guy
$500.
down. I talked
Okay, it was like
him
originally
down.
$500.
Jeez, wardrobe malfunctioning.
Jeez. As long as it's the okay kind.
All right, so this is our song.
Oh, that's right.
Resistance Chicks special.
All original, baby.
you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. There's only one thing that I know. There's only one thing that I'm sure about. That I'm the high holiness, even the foolish and wayfaring man. You can't add therein, no, you can't add therein. So just hold my hand, oh darling, when you don't know where to go. Hold my hand, and the way to you I will show. Hold my hand, hold my hand, and I'll hold you oh so tight. Just to hold my hand, just to hold my hand, just to hold my hand. If you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. If you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. Falling in the rain and it's pouring down on me as I pray. Stumbling through the night, can't seem to find my way. Chilled to the bone, my muscles won't move anymore. Jesus, save me, I cry aloud. Jesus, save me, Lord. And he says, just hold my hand. Oh, darling, when you don't know where to go. Hold my hand, and the way to you I will show. Hold my hand. Oh, darling, when you're oh so scared tonight. Hold my hand, and I'll hold you oh so tight. Just to hold my hand. Just to hold my hand. Just to hold my hand. If you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. If you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. I hear thunder in the distance, lightning strikes up ahead. I said some things that were better left unsaid. Troubled in my mind to my very core. Have I lost my way? I'm so unsure. Have I lost my way? Oh Lord. And he says, just hold my hand. Oh, darling, when you don't know where to go. Hold my hand, and the way to you I will show. Hold my hand, oh darling, when you're oh so scared tonight. Hold my hand, and I'll hold you oh so tight. Hold my hand, just to hold my hand, just to hold my hand. If you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. If you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. There's only one thing that I know. There's only one thing that I'm sure about. That on the highway of holiness, even the foolish and wayfaring man cannot err therein. you can't air therein. Falling in the rain and it's pouring down on me as I pray. Something through the night, can't seem to find my way. Chilled to the bone, my muscles won't move anymore. Jesus save me, I cry aloud. Jesus save me, Lord. I hear the thunder in the distance, lightning strikes up ahead. I said some things that were better left unsaid. Trouble in my mind to my very core. Have I lost my way? I'm so unsure. Have I lost my way, oh Lord? And he said to me, just hold my hand. Oh, darling, don't let go. Hold my hand, and the way to you I will show. Hold my hand, oh darling, when you're oh so scared at night. Hold my hand, and I'll hold you oh so tight. Just to hold my hand. Just to hold my hand. Just to hold my hand. 'Cause if you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you. If you let me hold you, I'll hold you tight. If you let me speak to you, I'll speak to you all the right words. Oh, darling, let me come to you.
I am always humbled by how many of you stick around for the song.
That's true.
I love that you guys like to stick around for the song. Maybe you turn it down. Maybe you just want to be part of the chat. Maybe you just love the Resistance Chicks family. Either way, we are very happy to have you.
Yeah.
As Maia keeps putting in the comment section, please visit us on our website, resistancechicks.com. I always put our latest videos up there. I haven't had a chance to devote as much time to it as I want to write articles like I talked about, but we've been extremely busy. I set an alarm on my cell phone because I was listening to music while I was weed eating at 20 till 6. We have to be in here set up at 6. I was covered in, Leah was at a pet visit. I had grass all over me. We do the very best that we can, and I hope that's enough for you guys. We always go live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we have a video from Sean and Tracy for you to show.
And we have some videos with Barry.
And we have videos. Barry's here, Britt Baza in the chat, where he was at the actual
event.
Day for Freedom. Thank you. It was escaping me. So we're going to show those as well. So Gary says, you sound great through my Bluetooth surround sound. Yay. Fantastic. Bertha Look says, always love the songs and see you all Sunday. Thanks to all of our moderators here. Mama Donna, she sent me a little thing on here. She says, can I have my wrench back? I think she changed her name and she never got her wrench. So, wrenched you. Kelly, Gary, Worth a Look, Britt Baza, Maia, thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being moderators. If you left a comment that we didn't see, it's probably pertinent. Leave it in the comment section after. Thank you, Robert, again, for these flowers that I just keep smelling. I cannot get enough of.
An Australian bear.
Digga.
Little Digger.
Little Digger.
The Little Digger.
The great wool bear. Great.
G'day, mate.
G'day, Little Digger. All right. We love you. God loves you. God bless. Happy early Mother's Day to all you moms out there.
You have those cherished teddies over there. You're going to have to box them up and start putting all of our Resistance Chicks memorabilia in there.
That's depressing.
For display.
Hang on.
That's not depressing.
Let's see if I can pan this over here. This is what she wants to do. I have a collection. It's kind of like a Hallmark store of figurines. There. Goes down deeper. I've been collecting them since I was like 12.
Maybe a couple shelves worth.
She wants me to get rid of. No.
It's just
we
an
will
idea.
make the Resistance Chick stuff can just continue to overflow.
It was just an idea. I thought it'd be kind of a cool idea.
Mama Donna says the Aussie Bear is so cute.
All right, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got a P.O. Box.
107.
So you can send us Aussie Bears and...
Milford, Ohio, 45150. You're going to go mow the ditches.
I'm going to defrock from the fancy garb. Take off the
I'm going to tell on Leah. I'm going to tell on her. She comes out here and she's like, look at this miracle that can happen in 2 seconds. I don't look like this normally. It's all fake. You saw us. You saw me anyway. It's all fake. It's all facade. Do you even really know us? Do you know who we are really? I don't think so. Can you really trust the Resistance Chicks?
It's called makeup for a reason. It's like
that's
magic.
what my mom said. It's called makeup. All right, thank you, girls, for everything.
We're real deal here. Other people like want to just go along with the facade and like be like, no, this. I wake up like this, like Carrie Underwood.
Y'all want to know what I wake up looking like?
Yeah, like I wake up with makeup on my face. I just look like this.
No, and they don't, and that's a lie. At least we're honest about it.
I like honesty.
That's right. Honesty is always the best policy. We love you. God loves you. God bless. Adios. Hasta not mañana. What's the day after tomorrow? I don't know.
The day after tomorrow.
Hasta day after tomorrow.
See you later.
Right. Bye, guys.
I was cold all alone. Your place